In my family, there isn't a single person who is married in a non-arranged marriage way. So everybody I know in my family have been married through that.
I mean, clearly with this whole tradition and culture, it's not for me, it's for them.
I came to Singapore with my parents when I was around six years old. So we have been here for around 15 years. They tried to raise me up in a very Indian way as possible, with many rules and regulations and that sort. So I was told about this bride sailing ceremony the night before they were about to come. No name, no nothing, no details. So they were just waiting for me to see the guy the next day. The next day they came, and then I was already dressed up in my room wearing my sari, wearing my flowers in my hair, and that kind of typical bride stuff. The process is very funny. First, you have to serve coffee to everyone who comes, and the bride has to serve it. So my aunt called me out. She was like, okay, here's the tray. My hands were trembling when I was holding the tray. I was like, oh my god, this is so awkward. I mean, I have to go, and when I serve the coffee, I have to serve by age-wise. I can't serve like how they're sitting. So I have to think, oh my god, who is the eldest in this room?
Singaporeans have their own culture and values, and people from India have their own culture and values. I definitely feel more connected to being a Singaporean citizen and a Singaporean-Indian. Just because they say yes to arranged marriages more easily doesn't mean that I have to agree with that. Singaporeans are practical, and that's why they're known to be lesser romantics. Because we must always be able to afford a house first before we can get married. For me, I was brought up in Singapore, and all this practical thinking and environment has made me to the person that I am, which is to think about practicality before traditions.
I think arranged marriage is more of my parents' culture, and I'm just trying to follow it for their sake. Like my mom, she is holding on to it because she wants to. It's already hard for her that she came to Singapore alone, leaving all the relatives behind. So all the more she feels the need that she should try to maintain as much Indianness as possible, even in a Singaporean environment, because she doesn't want all her relatives to think of her badly.
I think about myself only. Whereas they just don't think about themselves, they think about the whole community, the whole family. And that's why it becomes something that's much bigger than it actually is. For me, a marriage is just about two people making a decision to live the rest of their lives together. For them, it's just a small thing. It's a small aspect of a much bigger component of family honor. It is like, this is family honor. It's not like a subset, but this is it.
I'm accepting it simply for my parents. There's no other reason. And also I feel pressured because I don't want to be the first person in my entire generation, in my entire family tree, to break out from it. Everybody will label me as the girl who broke everything, as the girl who ran away. It's a huge label. Everybody will talk about it. I don't want to bring shame to my family.
I don't think it was my decision to be born into this culture. It wasn't. I'm not just a puppet in this world. I think we were all given brains and hearts to sort of feel the way we want and think the way we want. And not just like a robot, to be programmed like, you're Indian and so you have this Hindu culture.
If I was brought up in my parents' hometown in India all my life and I had to go through arranged marriage, I think I would definitely be more open to it than I am now. Like, I would definitely accept it more willingly because I would see everyone around me in my hometown going through the same thing, and I wouldn't have had the same exposure as I do in Singapore.
You meet many people in life, but you only have that feelings towards one or two people. It clearly shows that they're special, and the connection you had with them was really special. And I think that cannot be recreated. You cannot put someone, a stranger, in front of me and ask me to recreate those feelings. Those feelings were so natural with someone else that I liked.
I always wonder, what if there's this one guy who would make me want to give up, sacrifice everything for him? I think maybe if one day I find a guy whom I can love so much, so deeply, that if that love gives me courage, then maybe I will. But up until I see that guy or I feel that way, then I will accept arranged marriage.